Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's explainer. We're going to be looking at one of the absolute most magnificent creatures on the planet in a little something we call the peacock's display, nature's dating game. I mean, we've all been completely mesmerized by male peacocks strutting around a zoo or a park, right? Showcasing those absolutely fascinating physical traits. But what is all that showing off actually for?
Well, that brings us to the real question that we're going to explore over the next 3 minutes. How do peacocks get a date? Seriously, think about it for a second. In the wild, there's no swiping left or right on an app. You really just have to work with what you've got. And what the male peacock has, well, it's a spectacularly flashy evolutionary toolkit designed for one specific, incredibly competitive purpose. It all starts with the actual mechanics of the display. The male peacock possesses these incredibly beautiful, exceptionally long tail feathers. And when it's finally time to show off, he doesn't just drag them around behind him. He meticulously takes this massive, heavy train of feathers, physically flexes his muscles to lift it all up, and smoothly spreads it out into an absolutely massive, perfectly shaped fan. Now, what's really interesting to look at here is the intricate pattern covering that massive fan. If you look closely, you'll see the feathers are literally covered in what biologists call eyes. Now, these aren't actual visual organs, of course, but rather these incredible, sparkling circles that densely pack the entirety of the male's feathery display. It creates this hypnotic, almost three-dimensional optical illusion that's entirely meant to trap the viewer's gaze. And the colors. Oh, the colors are just breathtaking. When those eyes catch the light, we're talking about flashes of deep, vibrant purple, fiery, intense red, and striking, brilliant yellow. It's a spectacular, undeniably bright palette that catches the sunlight just perfectly. It's basically a visual explosion that makes the bird completely impossible to ignore. So why go through all this biological effort? I mean, why lug around a massive train of feathers that literally makes it harder to fly or, hide from predators? Well, it all comes down to this simple, kind of funny idea right here. Male peacocks use these elaborate feathery displays simply to get a date. That is it. The whole shebang, this entire flamboyant, exhausting visual spectacle, is literally just nature's ultimate courtship dance. But just displaying the fan is absolutely not a guaranteed match. Actually, scratch that. It barely even gets them a second glance if it isn't perfect. Let's shift our focus to the female's perspective here, because she is the one making the ultimate choice. And she has some incredibly strict visual criteria for her partners. Female peacocks seem to exclusively prefer the males who have the largest fans and the absolute brightest fans. It's a highly competitive evolutionary beauty pageant for sure, and only the most spectacular, vibrant males are going to make the cut. And this brilliantly illustrates one of the most fascinating aspects of this whole species, the stark difference between the sexes. On one side, we have the male peacocks with their enormous long trains, brightly colored fans, and sparkling eyes. But on the other side, take a look at the female peacocks. They're usually a highly subdued, grayish-white or brown. They completely lack those long trains. The females just blend directly into the background, while the males are basically walking, sparkling billboards. Which leaves us with a truly fascinating question to ponder as we wrap up. What does this stark contrast actually tell us about the sheer energy required just to get noticed in the natural world? When you look at the humble, perfectly camouflaged female right next to the extravagant, literally exhausting physical display of the male, it really makes you appreciate the incredible, almost absurd lengths biology will go to just for attraction. Definitely something to think about the next time you see one showing off.